So we have a lot to cover, and it's this great town, and we're really thrilled. So I guess we'll get this officially started. Uh, so hi everybody. Uh, Welcome to what is our 71st webinar. Just impossible to imagine that I'd ever say that. But and if you had asked me, when we first started doing this, would we keep doing them? I probably would have said probably not, or that we'd stop after a couple of months. But obviously that's not what's happened. And the reality is that for a large part of it, it's because you guys have given us such incredibly positive feedback. So again, I just want to say thanks. I also want to say that Johnny and I are just so pleased to have taken you guys on some amazing online journeys to what for us at least, are some of Europe's most interesting and, in our view, often unknown regions and towns and museums and restaurants. We've introduced you guys to some interesting chefs. We've gone to oyster farms and plenty of wineries, or at least we've drunk a lot of wine, or at least I know I've drunk a lot of wine during the webinars. So, and if any of you want to go back, they're all on our website, so you can go there and you can review them. If you have a client that comes in and asks a question about something and you're not really sure, go to our webinars. They're a good source for a lot of information. And I hate doing this, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to make a quick plug for us at GT Experiences. A lot of you do know who we are, and some of you may not. And I wanted to say that I hope that you're not only enjoying our webinars, but you're also, at some point in time, will give us a try to help build some really interesting and well thought out itineraries. For us, it's not just pulling something off a shelf. It's working together with you to try to make sure that everything is just right. So much for a plug. Enough said about that. Today, along with the help of the Avignon Tourist Board and a good friend, Philippe Bolofino, he's the person in Avignon who's in charge of promotion, and he's going to take us on a great trip through the town. Avignon was the home of 6 successive Catholic popes back in the 14th century. They left Rome and they went to France. Smart. And obviously they went back to Rome, but that time it probably was really a really dangerous place for them to live and lead the church. So, and today, not only that, but you also discover how the town of Avignon is this great pathway to all of Provence. In fact, last December, I got to lead 10 advisors on a week-long trip through Provence. And one of our first stops was spending the day in Avignon. And we were lucky to have Philippe as a guide, and he guided us throughout the day. We were walking inside the town's walls, the medieval walls. We visited the Papal Palace. We climbed to its upper ramparts, which was really spectacular. Philippe had a key that let us get into a shut door. We visited great hotels. We ate great meals. We drank some terrific wines, of course. So it's definitely a place to spend time in. I also want you to know that the weather in the winter is really wonderful. We had a really great time walking around back in December. Temperatures were in the low 50s and it was dry. And talking about weather, I mean, today we're in June, the weather's in the 80s in Avignon, nights are in the 60s, super pleasant. The summers are hot and dry, temperatures in the 90s. And just before I pass this over to Johnny, a couple of housekeeping rules. First, please make sure your mics are off so we're not hearing phone calls and other conversations. And don't forget to use the chat if you have any questions, and we'll answer the questions as the webinar goes on. And let us know before we start if you guys have spent any time in Avignon. So let me pass this over to Johnny, and he'll let you know how to get to Avignon and what an itinerary might look like. So welcome again, and Johnny, you're on.
Okay, thank you, Tom, and welcome again to everybody. Today, as we said, we are in Avignon, and my role is the professor of geography. So I will start my couple of slide presentation. So where we exactly are in the area. As we said, we did this one in cooperation with Avignon Tourism. We'll introduce you at the end our host. Here where we are, France, you can see the map of France and where is located exactly the area that we are going to visit on the southeast of France. Practically one where you see the Provence Côte d'Azur, close to the Occitanie, the other region of France, and south of the Rhone-Alpes region. The Avignon is just in the center of the Provence. Avignon is a very, very easy reachable location. Avignon from Paris is just 2 hours and a half with the high-speed train from Paris. Is an hour away from the airport of Marseille that unfortunately, we lost the direct flight from New York to Marseille, but we hope that in the future we will have again this flight that we fly directly from New York in the near future. You have the airport of Nice is about 2 hours away. And the area of Avignon is one of the most, for me, one of the most beautiful area. I have a lot of also family in the area, so I know very well the area. And but our host will tell you about that. And really, Avignon is a city, as Tom was said, very famous because was the residence of the Pope in the past, in the 1400s, and is completely surrounded by ancient walls. And one of the other major things is the Pont d'Avignon, but we're going to talk about that later. And this is my little short geography speech. And here where is our host is Philippe Bonfiglio, of the person in charge of the promotion of the area. And we no further ado, I will pass the microphone to Philippe to continue the presentation. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you, Gianni. Thank you, Tom. Hello, everybody. Very happy to have you here today in Avignon. Super grateful that you decided to spend the hour with us. We did indeed have a great time last December with Tom and with the other travel agents. And well, today is a webinar, so it's going to be slightly different, but we're going to try to have you some good times as well, vicariously. We've been around the city, and we've made a few movie clips that we're going to show you to you. And as you can tell, we are today. So today it's in Avignon. It's 6:00 p.m. So we're June the 8th. Temperature is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's pretty nice. We're by the swimming pool of the Novotel, which is one of the great hotels of Avignon, and we're just waiting for this to be over to take the bottles of wine out and the cheese and the crackers. And but in the meantime, we're gonna show you Avignon. And to be with me during this hour is David. Hello, David.
Hello.
So David is the revenue manager of the hotel. So I'm the promotion agent of the tourism office of Avignon. could you introduce yourself, David, and tell us a little bit about what you're doing at the hotel?
Yes. First of all, I'm very pleased to welcome Avignon Tourism and Tom and Gianni on the Novotel Avignon Center. Is it an hotel from the brand of Accor? I hope everybody know Accor. I know in the United States there are lots of hotels of Accor. My job is hill manager and contract manager for the Novotel. I'm looking about all the contracts. I'm working Avignon until 24 years. And I hope during this hour, I'm trying to share you my experience of Avignon and the beautiful of Provence. Philippe?
All right, so see, you've got two old hands right here to tell you everything there is to know about Avignon and share their expertise, advice, contacts, and knowledge. So we're going to start with the first clip. David, if there's really one thing that you should see when you're in Avignon, what would it be? That's a fairly easy question, I'd say.
Yes, for me it's very easy. For me it's not the first thing to see, but two things. First is the famous bridge of Avignon. I know, I hope everybody know the sound of Sur le pont d'Avignon. I'm not trying to sing to you because I want to keep the sun today and not the rain. It's better for us for the experience on Avignon. But the second thing you don't have to see on Avignon is it the famous Pope Palace.
Indeed, the Pope's Palace and the medieval bridge are the two major sites in Avignon. They are protected by the UNESCO. They are on the World Heritage List. And so a couple of days ago, we went there and we shot a movie. So now we're gonna show it to you so you can see what it really looks like live.
Thanks, Philippe.
All right, so you might have realized that wasn't the clip about the Pope's Palace. That was the promotional clip of Avignon. That gives you a general idea of what the city has to offer. So now we're going to dwell a little further into it, and we are going to go to the Pope's Palace really, and to the Bridge of Avignon, and to all the area that is protected by the UNESCO. All right, let's go. There's really one thing when you are in Avignon that you should visit, and this is the Pope's Palace, which is the building right behind me. You might have heard of it already. This is a huge medieval structure, and it's unique for several reasons. First of all, because this is the biggest Gothic building in Europe. It's as big as 4 cathedrals or 2.5 football fields. It's 161,000 square feet on the ground, just the footprint. So this is a huge structure. And it's also the unique witness of a unique episode of the history of the church, because this is the only time that the Pope spent so much time outside of Italy. The Pope's Palace was listed as a UNESCO site in 1995. Not only the Pope's Palace, but all the area that is, so the UNESCO area includes the Pope's Palace, but there's the cathedral as well, there's the Bishop's Palace. One of the big cultural events taking place in Avignon every year is the exhibition in the Pope's Palace, usually in the main chapel. And this year, the exhibition is by the French-Brazilian photographer Sebastião Salgado, who's taking us into a trip to the rainforest of the Amazon. There are more than 200 photos that are being on display, and this is also really a reflection about that particular area of the world, how pretty, how beautiful it is, and how we should keep it as much as possible. Usually people wonder why the Pope ended up in Avignon in the first place. So there are many political reasons. At the beginning of the 1300s, the situation is very difficult in Italy. So the Pope had left Rome already, and is living in northern Italy. And by the beginning of the 1300s, the Pope is also having problems with the French king. This is actually what took one Pope to come and live in Avignon, because keep something in mind, back in those days, you are not in France right here, you are in Provence, which is a country of its own. But France is right on the other side of the river Rhone, which is flowing in Avignon. And so it was some sort of a diplomatic step. The Pope was getting closer to France. He was showing the French king that he was willing to work out all the different issues they were having. And at the same time, the situation in Rome was not good anyway. One of the incredible things about the Pope's Palace is that even though it was plundered and damaged during the French Revolution, there are a few rooms that have kept the original decoration. And so they are fresco, they were painted in the mid-1300s, and they are very, very valuable because they give us an idea on how the Pope's Palace was decorated back in those days. So in certain rooms where we didn't get the chance to keep the original decoration, we have now a very nice and modern device to travel back in time, and this is called the Istopad. This is an iPad which is given to you at the beginning of the tour. It's included in the ticket, and you've got one iPad for visitors, and those in particular rooms take you back in the 1300s. All right, so here we are in the gardens of the Pope's Palace that are always a nice moment during your tour. First of all, because it's a breather in this realm of stone, and you get to see how the medieval gardens used to be. So, for example, right here you've got Pansy. Pansy was very good in the Middle Ages against fleas. And God knows they had a lot of fleas back in those days. They would say as well that if you burn this under the cradle of a baby, the baby would grow pretty and educated. When the Pope came to Avignon, so did the cardinals. So if nowadays in Avignon we have a Pope's Palace, the one that is at the building that is behind me is one of them. And this one was turned into a museum a few years ago. And this is nowadays considered some of the finest collection of Italian painting outside of Italy. And the good thing about that museum and about all the 5 public museums of Avignon is that they are free. So here we are in the gardens of the cathedral, which is a public park, and this is really a place that you should check when you are in Avignon, because it's very nice, it's very quiet, and the views are incredible. The second main monument in Avignon would be the medieval bridge of Avignon called the Pont Saint-Bénézet. If you ever took French, you will probably know about that bridge, because there's a little nursery rhyme called Sur le pont d'Avignon that refers to the bridge. And this is a bridge that was built in the 1100s. So are you ready to go and get a closer look? Sur le pont d'Avignon, on y danse, sur le pont d'Avignon, on y danse tous en rond. This is the song I was talking about, which you probably heard already. This is not a very old song, it was written in the 1800s, but somehow it stuck, and it became that nursery rhyme that everybody knows. It refers to that particular bridge, which again was built in the 1100s. So you can tell it's not complete. Unfortunately, part of it got swept away by the river, but because of the song, it's still very famous. All right, so that was your first glimpse of Avignon, and now you know why I am a promotion agent and not a singer. You heard it. I wanted to mention two things about the UNESCO World Heritage List. Avignon was listed in the list in 1995, just as at the same year, Siena in Italy and Edinburgh in Scotland were also put on that list. And also, if that's something you're interested in, if you're a history buff, just know that there are 5 UNESCO sites in Avignon and around Avignon. And there's the Roman Amphitheater of Arles, there's the Roman Theater of Orange, there is the prehistoric cave of Chauvet as well. So there's quite a lot to see. And we'll get there later, but in the old town as well, not protected by the UNESCO, but there's 155 buildings that are protected by the French government. I wanted to also mention one tiny thing that we were not able to film during the filming of that clip, and that's the synagogue of Avignon. Avignon, you understood, was under the authority of the Pope for many, many years, even many centuries. And for some reason, I'm not going to dwell too much into it now, but the Pope was actually more tolerant or more acceptant of the Jewish community than most of the princes and kings and emperors of Europe. So there's always been a Jewish community in Avignon. So we have a very nice functioning Jewish synagogue in Avignon that we were not able to see. And just outside of Avignon, in 2 small places called Cavaillon and Carpentras, they are the oldest synagogues in France, built in the 1700s. They are beautiful, they're very colorful, very richly ornate. And that's also something you might consider seeing while here. There is information about the Jewish heritage in this corner of Provence, so do not hesitate to ask Tom, and I'll send him the information and he'll pass it on to you.
And we just on a separate subject, there are, I know that there are lots of museums in town. Can you go a little bit into what's there and what people can see?
Yes, indeed. I mentioned in the clip. Well, altogether there are 9 museums, and 5 of them are public, and so they are free. So there's the Italian Painting Museum, the Natural History Museum, the Statue Museum. There's the Provençal Culture Museum as well. So those are just open for you to go inside, have a look. And if you're interested, you stay longer. If you're not, you just go out. If you are interested in museums, there are 4 museums that are private. There's one that is 2, they're all very interesting, but there's the Contemporary Art Museum, and those you can get access to fairly easily with the City Pass. And the City Pass gives you access to those paying museums and to the Pope's Palace and to the bridge as well, and also to a monastery that is just outside of Avignon. There's an abbey as well. So with the City Pass, you're covered. And indeed, in the hotel, you can. Can you get access to the City Pass?
Yes, all the team of the hotel and the Novotel have all the information about the City Pass, and you can sell He can sell it directly to the guest when it's arriving without go to especially to the tourist office. The Novotel is a bit of extension of the tourist office. All the staff can have an expertise and can advise or help the guest to reserve to book an excursion to a city tour or to a wine tour without to go in a city center to see the tourist office. All the staff of the Novotel can help the guest very well.
And you've got something very cool. You can get all that information on the TV sets.
Yeah.
So you don't even need to go down to reception to get all the information. Just looking up on your TV, you can already plan your day.
Well, as far as the City Pass goes, just so everybody knows, we'll send you copies of what they look like, what they include, and we can easily put it together in a package when your clients want to go to. So I know that it's hard. People don't want to just wait to the last minute to decide. They really want to know what the plan is before they get to Avignon. So we can sort all of that for you.
And also the City Pass, because it gives you access to all the major sites, gives you access to a lot of the cultural events taking place in Avignon. Because, for example, most of the museums and the Pope's Palace as well, as you've seen in the clip, they have their own summer exhibitions, and so you kind of kill two birds with one stone. The major event in the Pope's Palace this summer is going to be the Amazonia photo exhibition, which is going to be incredible. You've seen a few of the photos. There are going to be 200 of them. So we just can't wait to see the whole thing. This is going to be inaugurated in a few days, and but no matter what, there's always something to do in Avignon. There's a huge theater festival taking place in Avignon in July. That's fun.
Yes,
isn't it?
It's the peak season for us during the festival. But all around the year, you can find something to do in Avignon. There is a lot of entertainment, a lot of museum to see. As Philippe say, almost the museum are free. It's very pleasant to have a walk in a city. And we have a special area. I know you're going to talk about La Barthelas. Is very a green area on Avignon. We have a lot of things to do on Avignon. It's not one day stop on Avignon. You have to stay almost 5 or 6 days on Avignon to discover all. At least, of course.
Yeah, the Novotel, as a matter of fact, organizes a book festival as well. So work on your French, and then you'll be able to dive into the world of French literature. There are usually authors coming. If you're more into theater, of course, and in that case, you don't need to learn French, because well, there are some of the plays that are in French, but some of them are just musicals, or they are even plays in English. The theater festival will be nice in July. In August, it's a good time to be in Avignon as well. This has been going on for about 5 years now, and we have that Sound and Light Festival, and there are free shows. There are 9 free shows being projected. I mean, shows, sound and light shows projected on the facades of the most iconic monuments of Avignon, and they're free, of course. So this is always the good opportunity for night summer walk with an ice cream, and you just get to enjoy those shows. In the fall, usually the cultural events concentrate on wine, because this is the wine harvest period. So mainly September, October as well. But whenever you're in Avignon, there's going to be something happening. Just for fun, I looked it up on the internet this morning. If you're in Avignon today, tonight you've got a dance show. There's going to be a dance show again tomorrow night. There's going to be a wine tasting in one of the parks of Avignon where you can get as much wine as you want for €5. Then there's going to be an English guided tour of the city on Saturday. Saturday, there's going to be a free concert as well. So yeah, there's always going to be something going on. And you
someone had asked if restaurants were open in the winter. So
yeah, in the winter, Christmas is a big time. There are things that the city organizes, plenty of events. There are parades. There's an ice ring as well. There are rides that are set up in the city. You have obviously your regular Christmas markets as well. So
but the city doesn't shut down. Is the point? The city does not. No. Restaurants are open. Shops are open. It's not a resort town.
No, it's not. It's a small, very lively Provençal town. That's what Avignon. That's what Avignon is.
Avignon is a really human-sized city. You can have a walk. You are not obliged to take a cab to cross in Avignon. You can walk safely. It's very pleasant all around the year, because on the winter the
weather is nice.
The weather is good too. It's very, very pleasant. You can have a walk. You have a bicycle. Rent bicycle. You have a lot of things to do. And the city of Avignon is very a human-sized city.
There are 300 days of sunshine in Avignon. So I'll talk about the restaurants a little later. But now we're going to concentrate on the hotel we are in today, and we took a little walk. And again, we filmed it, so here, go have a look. When you're getting to a new city, it's always tricky, a little difficult to find the right accommodation for you, depending if you're traveling on your own, if you're traveling with your partner, or if you're traveling with your family, depending of your needs, what you're used to, what you like. So if you like big places that are modern with all the facilities, the ideal place would be the Avignon Centre Novotel, which is right next to me, and that was inaugurated in 2012. So see, it's very modern, very nice. And today I am with François, who's the business manager, and he's the one who's going to take us and have a look in the hotel. So bonjour, François.
Thank you. Welcome in Avignon.
Thank you for taking us to the hotel. The hotel is situated right next to the old city. The medieval wall is right behind us. We are just 2 minutes away from the train station. We are 10 minutes away from the Pope's Palace, so it's very handy. Are you ready to go? All right, so let's go.
Thank you.
Service. All right, so we're here in one of the 130 rooms of the Novotel Hotel. That also includes 9 suites, of course. This one is pretty spacious. As you can tell, it's 270 feet big, 25 square meter big. And it's fully equipped, of course. So there's a double bed, you've got TV, Wi-Fi, coffee station, safe, mini bar as well. And you've got a ground level shower with a little touch of magic, as you can tell. If you are looking for a relaxing time in Avignon, of course, there is always the Nova Spa, where you can take it slow for a moment. This is a huge facility that is 4,000 square feet big, with all the different, that provides all the different facilities that you would be looking for in a spa. That means the jacuzzi, the hammam, the sauna as well. There are massage booths where you can reserve a masseuse. And there's one thing particular Francois was telling me about the jacuzzi or the sauna, is that those places are privatized. So if you want to have a sauna, you just call, you make an appointment, and you get the place for yourself. So you see, on top of the large bedrooms, the spa, the swimming pool, the fitness center, the location, which is right next to the old city, there is a private parking lot in the hotel with spots for 100 cars, which is ideal if you're planning to do a self-driven tour in Provence. All right, so we are going to finish the tour of the Avignon Centre Novotel by the swimming pool, which is obviously something necessary when you are touring Provence. It can get very hot around here. This is the private swimming pool of the hotel, open from 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. We're gonna cool down, get a drink, take it slow for a moment. François, merci beaucoup. Thank you very much for this tour.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, so this is a very nice and a very modern hotel. Again, inaugurated in 2012 with all the facilities that you'd be looking for. Now you're going to be some live image of the hotel, and it's a very nice little comfy village where you'll enjoy to have a break after a hard day of visiting. Concerning the rooms, there's about 130 rooms. David, could you tell us a little bit more about the rooms?
Yes, of course. You can choose of we have 55 standard rooms, including 31 real twin bedded rooms. You have 46 executive room. All the rooms, the standard and the executive room are around 25 square meters with separate toilet and bathroom. You can find some bathtub or some shower in a room. In the executive room, you have special attention as a bathroom, a sleepers, an espresso machine. We don't including George Clooney inside with Nespresso, only the espresso machine. And you
have how many other connecting rooms and family rooms?
You have 20 rooms connected.
Great.
You also found 4 junior suites with a large area around 35 square meters. You can welcome children, family with 2 adults and 2 children. And you also have 5 executive rooms with separate living room and room. All the bathroom of the suite are including a bathtub and a shower, as you can see on the image. All the space of the hotel as the restaurant. We have a restaurant, we have a pergola. We have also a spa, the Nova Spa. Melody, the spa manager, is listening to you and advise you personally. For the staff of the hotel, for all the staff of the hotel, each guest is unique. All the staff are looking to share his experience and to give you the spot you have to see. Is it the policy
David,
of the
David, someone had asked how close we are. How close is the hotel to the TGV?
Close from the TGV, you are 15 minutes. We have a shuttle from the TGV station, And from the TGV center, the city, the center station, you have 5-minute walking.
Okay. Then there is the you saw, and there is the spa. You've got the parking lot, which is very important as well. If you wanna just put your car on one side and forget about it for several days. There's the little kids corner as well that they set up with there's a game table. There's a little easy bake oven that I've tried as well, because there's a little 12-year-old girl inside of me that is shouting at me out, and so it's very friendly.
I'm sorry, but I saw the swimming pool, which is great, especially with kids if you're traveling. And I know that there are lots of other things and activities that you can do around Avignon, not just within Avignon. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. Sure. There is a lot to do in Avignon for kids. For example, I haven't mentioned it during the clip, but when you tour the Post Palace, you usually do it with an iPad, and there's a treasure hunt in the iPad, so that's usually a lot of fun. Then you have to look for the coins and that are hidden in the Post Palace, and when you get all the coins, then you enter your email address, and you will receive you'll take a photo of yourself, and you receive the photo of yourself dressed up as a pope. That's the reward. There's a merry-go-round in Avignon. There's a Natural History Museum. There's a Ferris wheel, which is going to be inaugurated tomorrow, I think, and this is going to be here for the whole summer. So within Avignon, there's a lot to do with kids. Outside of Avignon, there are 3 theme parks that also can be of interest. There is the Spirou Park. Spirou is not very popular in the US, but this is a very popular European comic character who's friends with a lot of different animals. And so you've got all types of different rides, very close to a Six Flags type of theme park. And it's just 30 minutes away from Avignon. There is Wave Island, which is the water park around here with slides for adults. Then there are the relaxed rivers as well. So that covers all the ages of the family. And then also not very far away from Avignon, there is the Haribo Museum, which is the candy museum. And then you can you can see how they're making the candy, and you can try all the candy you want. And then you can buy candy bags that are bigger than yourself. So usually that's a big treat for your kids and to get them high on sugar, for example. So so now you started seeing part of Avignon. We're gonna go on. I'm gonna take you on another tour. We're gonna see more of the old town of Avignon, and we bumped into somebody, and so you just have a look, and here's more to see. Avignon is one of the very few cities in Europe with their wall complete. It goes all around the old town, over 2.6 miles, and that wall was built in the 1300s. That makes it very convenient because all the sightseeing are inside the wall, so it means that you will never really get lost. Just explore, and if you bump into the wall, well, you just turn around and go somewhere else. So it's very practical, and so the old city is for you to discover. Are you ready to do it with me? Let's go. What is interesting about those old buildings, apart from the fact that they are very pretty, is that when you look carefully, you can always spot tiny details that are usually interesting and funny and curious. So we're in front of a church that was built in the 1300s. The doors were made a little later in the 1500s, in 1531. If you look carefully, you'll see there's an Indian head carved at the top of the left door, quite funny. And 1530s, America has just been discovered, so it must have been quite a trending topic at the time, so no surprise you would find an Indian head represented on the doors of the church. This is probably one of my favorite places in Avignon. It's not very famous. It's called the St. Louis Cloister. There are mainly offices nowadays. And but originally that was the Jesuit school that was built end of the 1700s, beginning of the 1600s. And the thing is, it's hidden behind a big wooden door. So it's not very obvious, but that's what I would advise you to do whenever you're in Avignon and you're strolling, and don't be afraid. Sneak into little passageways, look at the little streets, push the doors. There's always going to be some hidden treasure for you to discover. If you consider yourself a foodie, if you're interested in local cuisine whenever you travel, and if you feel like you need the help of an expert when you are in Avignon to really discover all the specialties the city has to offer, well, I think there's one person that you should meet, and this is Julien, who is right next to me. Bonjour, Julien.
Bonjour.
Ça va? You're
Ça va
doing
très
good?
bien, merci.
All right. And Julien is a local guide who specializes in gourmet tours. So he's the one that's going to show you everything there is to see in Avignon. And on top of that, you're going to taste the best specialties. You're going to go to the best food places in Avignon. Julien, could you tell us a little bit more about your activity, what you're doing when you are doing those tours?
Actually, I do offer people food experiences. The activity is called Avignon Gourmet Tour. It's mostly off the beaten track experiences. So I allow people to get to discover different parts of Avignon. We go more confidential. And the goal is also to introduce people to the artisans of the taste here. That's a very subjective tour, actually. I take people while I go shopping myself. It's a real immersion into local life.
But you're local, right?
I'm local. I was born in Avignon. I grew up here, and I've been leading tours in Provence over the last 10 years. So I've been around. And the goal is really to combine my passions for history, food, culture, wine, and people. Et bonjour. Well, Manu and Flo, this is called Limbo de Provence. You have another one. This one is called Nyons, which is an AOC, but it's olive production. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Without telling too much, what kind of specialties do you get to, do people get to taste during the tour?
Actually, in France, we tend to have sweet treats for breakfast. So we always start with the croissant, that's very French cliche, and then we go more authentic, of course. But we go taste some chocolates. We do some papaline as well, that's a real specialty for Avignon. We do coffee, that's also interesting. We have a nice coffee roaster here. And then we'll go also to taste some traditional recipes we do for Christmas. It's always the occasion to talk about traditions here. Wine tasting, very important, because I really love with wines. So it's always a way to introduce people to the Côte du Monde. And we always finish at the Market Real, that I call the belly of Avignon. So there we go savory with different types of tapenades, breads, pâtés, caillettes, squid, and more.
I'm ready.
A well-deserved break in one of the best ice cream places in Avignon. Yeah, the Rhone Valley is the second biggest wine production region in France. We produce about 355 million gallons of wine every year for the local consumption. We hardly export. And we do produce chill-bodied red, crispy white, fresh rosés. So I definitely advise you to check the wine when you are in Avignon. All right, so here what we got in the meantime. That wasn't planned, but see how well treated we are at the Novotel. We got cocktails. Cheers.
Can you share it?
Sure. And if you're looking for me at 6 a.m., I'll be by the swimming pool on a sunbed, okay? Okay. All right. All right, so we're going to try to still keep focus. So yeah, we had a you met Julien. So Julien organizes gourmet tour in Avignon. We had a great time that day. There were people from Canada, the US, Germany, Mexico, and he took us to all those little places that you wouldn't normally go because they're not necessarily very obvious. And he had us try all the specialties of the city, and that's also a good way to explore a city. Explore the city with the eyes, but also with your tasting buds. Mm-hmm. So also, if that's one of the options that you can do while in Avignon. Tom will pass on the information, but there are also activities and experiences that you can do. For example, here, see, this is our leaflet. So, for example, you can go and if you're interested in literature, we've got a literature tour of Avignon where we read little extracts of books. There is also a tour of a bike tour, for example. Those are becoming very popular. Avignon is a city that is that has enough bike lanes to be discovered by bike. We have a bike rental program that is very cheap. You get your bike for €1, and then it's €1 for each hour spent with the bike, and you just need to download a free app to get access to the bikes. This is very nice. The old city is adapted to the bikes, and turns out, and in Avignon as well, we've got the biggest river island in Europe. So we do have some parks in Avignon, but we have the biggest park of them all is the Bartholas Island, which is the biggest river island in Europe. It's 800 acres big, and here there are only orchards and vineyards and wheat fields, and that can be a nice nature break during your visit of Avignon, on top of the 9 natural state parks that are around Avignon as well. And other activities that you can do at the island is the canoe.
Yeah, and we're going to end up sending all of you an email with attachments of all of the pamphlets, samples of itineraries, so you can use it to forward on to your clients. So you'll have that in the next week. Have you ever done a canoe tour, David?
Not yet. So I'm not so sportsman. But
David, we're close to an hour, so I think we've covered most of what we've, set out to do. If anybody has any questions, that would be great. Is there? Go ahead.
Can we show you one last clip?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The canoe, I just wanted to mention, they're having a night canoe tour where you leave at sunset and you get to the city by night, and the views are just exceptional. I'm just telling you this. That's something you should try. Something very popular as well, and that we decided to put the focus on as well, are cooking classes. Provençal cuisine is becoming more and more popular because it's Mediterranean cuisine. It's very healthy. Mainly the base is the olive oil, and a lot of vegetables, a lot of garlic. And so they are becoming very popular. And so a lot of them are offered in Avignon. And we followed one that is given by the La Mirande Hotel and Restaurant, which is in an old building from the 1700s. So the setting is just exceptional. And here again, we had a lot of fun. So we're going to show you this that clip. Here we go. So right behind me, this is the food market of Avignon, which is quite an usual structure for the old town. As you can tell, it's very modern. Part of it is covered up with plants. This is actually the food market, where people go run their errands. And that's the place you need to go check when you're in Avignon, especially when you're doing a cooking class. So let's see inside what is cooking.
So we will start by going to the poultry, and after we go back to the organic shop to buy the veg, and maybe we do a little cheese tasting.
All right, so Avignon is big enough in Provence to have renowned chefs. We are in the heart of Provence. We have access to exquisite, sun-drenched local produce, and the chefs of Avignon love to play with it. And the good thing is they are not shy about sharing their passion. And so there are a lot of cooking classes that are offered in Avignon. One of them is offered here in the La Mirande Hotel, and the chef is Séverine, which is just right here, preparing Provençal Madeleine. And bonjour Séverine.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
Yes.
All right. So could you tell us a bit more about what you've been doing today?
I am doing Madeleine for you, Philippe.
Just from you?
Madeleine, the Provençal
24
recipe.
for me?
Voilà, Provençal recipe with olive oil, lavender, honey, almond flour, something very light. So I am just molding the batter. After we cook them 7 minutes, 350.
So
Et voilà, so this is the cooking class today. So we have 12 people all together coming from all over the world.
You go away to meet new people.
Voilà. Oui, my work is to meet new people, drink white wine, and having a good lunch with my guests. You know, I have a dream. So we've been to the market this morning, Les Halles Market. This is 5 minutes walk from La Mirande. We did choose all together the products we did cook. So asparagus were on season, basil were on season. We've been doing asparagus with basil, coulis, a little green apple dressing, and shellfish, Manila clams with a shellfish fume sauce from Manila clams. And then we've made some chicken, breast chicken with morel sauce and artichokes à la barigoule. And for dessert, we have red fruits with a little sauce made with cherries and mint and cherry soup, and little lavender, honey, and olive oil Madeleine to go with.
And the menu changes every time.
The menu change, you know, it depends the guests, what they like, what they don't like, what they feel cooking.
Great.
After the market, we cook for 2 hours, and once everything is ready, we go downstairs in the wine cellar. We have the original cellar of the house, which is downstairs, from the 14th century, something special, with all the bottles from the gourmet restaurant wine list. So we go downstairs, we have an aperitif in the cellar. We always prepare something with the aperitif. Today it was an asparagus velouté with passion fruit dressing and passion fruit sorbet, fresh. And after the aperitif, we all come back here and we plate all together. And then after, we have lunch with more wine. So you see now everyone is happy. Voila. But you're welcome. Thank you to you. Thank you for coming.
Delicious. And just so that I could interject, in December when we visited the hotel, which is just a beautiful, beautiful 5-star hotel, we went downstairs and saw the kitchen, and it was privatized, and so it was a small group that was doing cooking. It was really wonderful to see. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We didn't see any images of me with knives because we wanted the clip to to stay a PG-13.
That's right.
That's
Thank you.
And to be safe. Yes, I totally agree.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. It was really just, it was wonderful. I hope that everybody had a great time and got a real sense of Avignon before sending your guests there. So, Philippe, I want to say thank you to you. It was really a wonderful trip through the town. David, thank you for all your support and input. We'd like to end with our usual contest. So Johnny, if you could.
Yes. So while we were finishing, I asked the computer to the winners of today, and the $300 coupon goes to Travels Means Teresa Weir, and
Teresa, thank
Teresa, good, thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you. And for the hotel stay in at the Novotel in Avignon, the prize go to Self Travel, Len Lipton. So Len,
are you there?
are you there? Congratulations, and stay put, stay. How I can say, stay for the next webinar that we will have in the next few weeks, and we hope to bring you other very interesting destination. Thank you again, Philippe, and I hope to see you soon.
All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day. We're going to have a good night.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye, Philippe. Enjoy your drinks, gentlemen.
Woo.
Cheers. À bientôt.
À bientôt. Thank you.
Wow.
We're waiting for you.